It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo. We're your hosts, Tim
And LJ. Today and every week we will be discussing musicals, but specifically what they taught us.
and he's back this week.
I know, thank goodness.
Either because he's never heard of the musical before or he likes it. I don't know. Hi, Aaron.
Hello.
Or maybe he listened to how much we badmouthed him in the last one for not being there that he thought he had to come back.
It's a combination of all three.
Yeah. Or maybe he just needs to keep an eye on us.
Yeah.
While the cat's away, the mice did play. I know I didn't play. That sounds so wrong.
What was that?
Well, you know that saying, while the cat's away, the mice will play.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So he kind of left us to our own devices again, which is never a good
I know, now
idea.
that we've got used to him, we kind of feel
No,
like
but
we
that's
need
the
him.
thing. Like the number of times we called out for Aaron in the last episode, and he wasn't there,
Aaron.
neglecting his duties. Some might say. Anyway, here,
What?
because we had to explain the whole Six fiasco in the last episode, I never quite got onto it. But what hold do you have on people, Lauren?
What do you mean? What hold? Is
Well,
this because I put a poll up?
No, we'll get to the poll in a minute. Yeah, it was like a battle, wasn't it? On the socials a fortnight ago. So, we obviously had the episode where we discussed our divas.
Yes.
Right? Where I was accused
You were
of
accused.
being very diva-like, and I was like, hold on a minute, the diva in this situation is you.
No, I never accused you. You just outright were like, I knew you're a diva. You were being a diva about
Oh,
Aaron
that's
sitting
right.
in your
No,
chair.
yes. So I admitted to the fact that I have some diva qualities to my personality, but you totally denied all diva. And clearly you're the world's biggest diva, because I did put out a request for lots of diva stories and everybody was too scared to share them.
No.
Including your sister.
No. That's not true.
She
People
said,
actually...
quote, unquote, oh, there is many, but she babysits my child, so I can't say anything. That's fear. That's fear right there.
Also, that's my sister. I feel like if I asked your brother, he would give me loads of stories. So I think that was a wee bit unfair. And there was also a comment to be like, absolutely none, she's an angel.
But we know that's a pile of crap.
No, it was from Richard, and Richard doesn't lie because he said that you were a diva whenever you were 5, so...
We know what side his bread's buttered on, that's for sure.
But then you put up that thing and you didn't get anything.
He just knows I have so much dirt on him that he can't afford
Okay, and then I put up a poll to see who was more of a diva, and I am going to share the video because I had to take a little screenshot video. There was 91% in favour of you and 9% in favour of me, and the 9% was one vote for me, and it was you. Everybody else voted for you.
Okay, we move on.
Did you think it was anonymous, Tim?
I honestly was like, we're going to out her for sure. But everyone lives in fear.
They do not.
They're living in fear.
They don't. They all just know that you're the diva and I'm not.
Honestly, give it time. The stories will start to crawl out of the woodwork. I was absolutely raging.
You're hilarious. You're so funny.
No, it's not a good day.
It's not a good day.
No, it's not a good day.
Oh dear. What's wrong?
Well, first of all, the poll comes out that I'm 91% diva. Lies. Then I got woken up this morning to the dulcet tones of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Somebody thought they were being really funny.
That's hilarious.
Not funny.
That is hilarious.
No, the worst wake up
That is
I have
so
ever experienced.
funny.
And then I'm an old geriatric man, and my sciatic is gone.
I know. But you got your chair back because of it.
I've got a chair back, yeah, exactly. Who's the diva now? Anyway, how are you?
Yes.
Please tell me things are better.
Things are good. Yeah, much better.
Just because you came out on top.
I know. Yeah. At 9%, and you had to vote for that. It was so funny. So
It shows
funny.
how many people took the poll, though, to be fair. One person, 9%. See?
That was hilarious.
Maybe they're all just scared of both of us.
Maybe that's it as well. Maybe.
We know far more divas out there than us two.
Yeah. And, well, yes, we certainly do.
The characters in our show this week are a wee bit diva-like, aren't they?
Diva and sort of set the tone for people within musical theatre
Careful what you say. No comment. That's what I'm saying.
who live through others.
Oh my god. Right, okay. Brit.
But isn't that true?
A small percent, like 9% maybe, of them.
Love it. Love
I
it.
shouldn't have had that fizzy drink. I'm a wee bit burpy.
Oh,
Apologies if it one slips out.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, last
burp.
week, whenever we were discussing our sneak peek for this week, we said that we would maybe be through rose-tinted glasses, and then you tried to do some sort of showing of your shoulder.
No. The rose-tinted glasses. Then I said, what did I say? I said we might be looking at like the world's best example of a stage mother.
Yes, and then
So-
you tried to show your shoulder.
And then I did try and do a whole strip-teasy kind of. I might. Oh my god! I just like showed my shoulder. Sorry to Aaron and Lauren. That was a lot. I say sorry, Aaron. Aaron is like he's leaving. Bye. That
There needs
lasted
to
long.
be a camera. Like, this is getting too much.
Put it away, Aaron.
My shoulder.
Oh my goodness. People would not believe what goes on when we're recording this.
Yeah. What I was trying to refer to with I might show a bit of shoulder is the art of striptease, which I'm accustomed to. No, I'm not. I've never done a striptease in my life. Although I would say I do a pretty good striptease.
Well, I would say it would be in
That's
time.
such a diva thing to say.
Shut up, Aaron.
I've never done a striptease, but I'm pretty sure I'd be good at it.
I would. You got to know your strengths, folks.
Oh my goodness. I think we've lost it.
I think I have lost it. The painkillers I'm on, I would say I've lost it today. Anyway.
Hilarious.
So it was all to do with our musical, which is...
Gypsy.
Okay. That was a very long, around the cul-de-sac way of getting to our musical this week.
But we got there.
Indeed. Have you got background?
Yeah.
Did you want me
So, Gypsy is a musical fable. Lyrics. What? Yeah. Were you going to say, like, what does that mean? Or you wouldn't?
I read that too and I went, but, like, so in my head, fables are, like...
Made up.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. Is that what fable means, Aaron?
I feel it would be like a story, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it because it's based on Gypsy Rose Lee's memoirs?
But then it's not a story because it's based upon...
Aye, but it's her memoirs, which
Yeah.
some people don't believe are true.
It's a short story that usually conveys a morale. So there's a...
Or moral, right, okay.
Or sorry, a morale.
You're just being posh. Okay.
Okay.
And to be fair, there is a wee... But you could then say that about most musicals, because most musicals have, like, that message or moral.
Yeah,
No?
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, yes.
Continue.
So it's a musical fable with lyrics by Stephen Sondheim.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know that. Music by Jill Stein. And book by Arthur Lawrence.
You've been practicing.
I have. I did really well with words there. So it's loosely based.
That's why I gave the background to you. It's like, I mean, if she's gone to the effort of practicing the names this week, she may as well do the background.
Loosely based on the memoirs of the striptease artist Gypsy Rose Lee. But it
good
focuses... it focuses on her mother, Rose. Some people say there's two stories to Gypsy. It's the struggles of life in the theatre as performers as they chase their dreams of stardom, and then it's that universal mother/daughter relationship.
Yeah. And Rose has become synonymous with the ultimate showbiz mother.
Absolutely.
Hence the showbiz mother.
Yeah. References that we were sort of talking
so clever. I mean,
it's also referred to as the greatest American musical. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with that title.
Me too.
Yeah, I really am.
I rate this bad boy.
Me too. I think we will show a lot of shoulder for this musical.
Maybe we do need a video because the gestures you were showing there were not relating to the shoulder, okay? I wish people could have seen that.
Oh, dearie me. Anyway, so it's referred to as the greatest American musical. So it was in Broadway in 1959. Then the film came out in 1962. It moved to the West End in 1973. And there have been over 5 revivals of it. Isn't that true?
Only 5? I thought there would have been hundreds more.
No. I think there's been 6, but maybe there's one that isn't quite considered a revival. So that's why I just said like 5. It did win Best Revival in 1989. Mm-hmm. It was the Tony, and it then won Best Revival Olivier in 2016.
Yeah, most revivals have won awards, so you'd be absolutely livid if you were involved in the original production, wouldn't you? Which won a 0.
Yeah. It is the project of producer David Merrick. And we know his name from which musical?
You always do this to me and I'm going, yeah, we do. I have no idea.
42nd Street.
Oh, did we mention him in the 40?
So he produced 42nd Street.
On episode 29, I think it's 29, I mean... Yeah, no, it is, because I redid the mass after the 6 fiasco.
Yeah.
It's coming, don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, episode 29, I've forgotten.
Okay, I've forgotten
most
previous
of the
ones.
previous,
So yeah, he produced 42nd Street, but he produced Gypsy along with Ethel Merman.
There's no business like show business. Controversial, but I cannot stand Ethel Merman in any cast recording she's ever done.
She's very hammy.
Hammy and shouts, like she doesn't really sing. God, we're going to get... This will be the end of the podcast. The musical theatre fans will be coming for us.
Aaron, Ethel Merman, correct me if I'm wrong, was massive in, like, old Hollywood.
Yeah.
And she was more famous for on-screen than theatre, isn't that right?
Yeah.
So was this kind of a, like, out-of-the-blue moment that she decided to produce this and create this project? Had she done...
She had just done something on stage. Was it Bye Bye? No,
I'm not sure.
No.
Well, Irving Berlin and Cole Porter turned down the project. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Merman didn't want Staunton because he was unknown.
He was still a wee babby.
She didn't want an unknown. So then... she asked, obviously, Jill Stein to do the music. Sondheim didn't want to just do the lyrics.
Yeah.
So he was about to turn it down, but it was Oscar Hammerstein that persuaded him to do it.
Said, young buck, you need to do this if you want to make it in the world of... And it was also on the back of West Side Story. So West Side Story had just happened, and Gypsy also reunited the West Side Story trio of Jerome Robbins, who was Gypsy's director and also directed West Side Story, Arthur Lawrence and Stephen Sondheim, as we've mentioned. Yeah.
So some really big names that were attached to it from the beginning. So I'm not surprised that it has lasted. It's, from 1959 to now. We're still talking about it. People still love it. People still view it as one of the best musicals ever. Not just the greatest American musical.
Yeah. I would, it's definitely up there. Especially for the classics. Like, it's right up there with the Guys and Dolls. For me, do you know what I mean? But one of those shows that also from the word go was a wee bit tetchy and, a wee bit... inflammatory in the rehearsal room and the creative process.
And I think it
wasn't good.
had a lot to do with Ethel herself.
She certainly on paper comes across as being a wee bit difficult, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think so. I think she had a vision, which I don't necessarily think was going to be the best if she had got her way.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think then also Jerome Robbins was very difficult in the creative process. I think he was struggling to make his mark on the show, and he resorted to like volatile behaviour to try and assert himself. And it was also that coming off the back of West Side Story, I don't think Lawrence was overly impressed with Robbins because of how he behaved himself and asserted himself in the West Side Story process. And I think he was a bit dubious about getting involved in Gypsy as well, because it required him to work with Robbins again, but they kind of just got on with it. I think there was ill-tempered negotiations throughout, especially in like out-of-town tryouts, because they were trying to trim the show. It was too long. Robbins wanted less script. Lawrence wanted the child vaudeville sections to be trimmed down, and they kind of butted heads over that. And then apparently Robbins even wanted the brilliant brassy overture to be dropped. And in my opinion, the overture to Gypsy is one of the best musical theatre overtures out there. Like, it is unbelievable. Like, he just seemed a bit hard work. At one point, Robbins also, without any warning, removed the song Little Lamb.
Really?
Yeah, whereupon Stein threatened to remove the entire score if it wasn't reinstated. And it was reinstated, hence we have Gypsy. Yeah, so like, right from the word go, like, it just seemed, would you have wanted to have been involved in that process? I'm not so sure I would. Yeah, so there we go.
Gypsy, I do love it. I do love it.
Yeah. It's quite interesting that Ethel Merman was also passed over for the role of Rose when they came to making the film.
I think she was raging.
Diva. Now that's it. That's a Lauren Diva moment, I'm sure.
A Lauren Diva moment, more like a Timothy Diva moment.
Throwing things and all.
Yeah, I would say she was raging about that.
Raging.
Yeah.
I
think she's seen herself being able to portray it in the way that it should have been done.
Well, clearly not, because she didn't win her award, but like literally almost every other actress who's played Mama Rose in, following productions has, and like there's been many mamas, played by some real stars. So Angela Lansbury won the Tony for her portrayal of Rose in the 1974 revival. Patti LuPone won for her portrayal, thank you, in 2008. And then Bette Midler won awards for her 1993 television film.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Imelda won.
Oh my goodness.
I know, but we'll
I think we'll get on to good old Imelda.
What about some musical lyrical lingos?
Oh, listen. So I kind of came to this early teens, maybe.
Yes.
I think was the first time I experienced it. I heard the overture before I heard anything else, and then you realise there's certain numbers that you've heard in wee cabarets or wee charity events, which I'm like, oh, that's a Gypsy number. Yeah. Honey!
I know. Honey's decided to go for a walk.
Honey's our executive producer's away. He's away for a walk with Honey. Oh, no, just letting the dog out. So, first things first, I didn't realise it was based upon a real person. Like, I didn't know that Gypsy Rose Lee was an actual striptease artiste.
Yeah, so a famous one.
Yeah, I didn't realise that at all. Also, when I realised that in the early Act 1, Rose kind of tours her kids around the place, and like vaudeville theatres, like, and it's children performances. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing. I want to do that. Like, literally, if I'd lived in America in those times, I would have wanted to have been in one of Mama Rose's, like, travelling
shows.
Travelling trips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learnt that. I've learnt a lot from it.
Yeah, no, there is a lot. I also think this goes back to Staunton wrote the lyrics, and his lyrics and everything that he does is wonderful. So there's lots of layers to...
Lots of layers.
Not just the song, the performance, and what's being said at the time versus what comes later.
Yeah.
It's all very clever. All very, very clever.
In the number Some People, Rose sings, I have a dream, a wonderful dream, Papa, all about June, who was her daughter, and the Orpheum Circuit. And I didn't know what that Orpheum Circuit was.
Yeah,
so what's the Orpheum Circuit, Lauren?
I just had the Orpheum is the name of theatres or other entertainment venues.
Yeah, a chain of vaudeville and movie theatres, founded in 1886 and operated through to 1927 before it then merged into something much bigger. Yeah.
That was class. Also, with that word humdrum, she sings in Some People.
Oh, yeah, humdrum.
Yeah, I didn't know that meant dull or boring. What are you laughing at?
Well, that's why you wouldn't know, because you are neither of those two things.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And also in Some People, she sings about Shriners. And Shriners is I don't know if it's a slang name, it must be a slang name for American Masons, like Masonic Society.
Yeah, because I had that one too. She sings good riddance to all those socials I had to go to, all the lodges I had to play, all the Shriners I said hello to.
Yeah.
Just charitable society, founded in the US in 1872 is what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, she basically would have scratched anybody's back she had to scratch in order to further her children.
1,000%.
And their careers.
Oh. While not all Masons are Shriners, all Shriners are Masons.
But like,
what does that mean?
Like, that just pickles my head more. Therefore, a man must become a master mason before he becomes a Shriner? No. Google, no help whatsoever.
That makes sense.
Well, explain it.
You're
while
smarter
not
than
all
us.
Masons are Shriners, all Shriners are Masons. While not all birds are seagulls, all seagulls are birds. Oh my God. I've substituted words.
Yeah, no,
I
get it. Okay, yes, that makes more sense.
You're just saying okay.
No, that does.
You have to be a master mason to be a Shriner.
So you had to be a mason first before you could be a Shriner?
You had to be a mason and work your way through the levels.
To get to Shriner status.
So it means she literally went through everybody in order to get...
And she absolutely would have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see? Yeah. By just saying that word Shriner rather than mason has shown you what she did. Oh, that's a nice little hat.
Oh, Shriner. Oh my goodness, right. Did you know that the character... So, Mama Rose has two daughters.
Yep.
Louise and June. And that the character of Louise, as we know, was based upon Gypsy Rose Lee. Mm-hmm. And then the character of June was based upon Lee's sister, who was the actress June Havoc. Imagine having that as a surname.
I know, and they both wrote memoirs.
Ooh.
And they both have two very different accounts of what their mother was like.
Wow. Tell me more.
Yeah, so that's kind of part of the history of Gypsy is that I suppose I don't think that's where it comes from, but you know, there's two sides to every story. Yeah. Actually, not. There's three. There's her side, and the truth. You know, so they both wrote memoirs, and I also read as well that it's because June doesn't like how she's portrayed in the musical, where some people maybe portray her as spoilt. But I never really got that. I got that she just got fed up with Rose and just couldn't be bothered living that lifestyle anymore and ran off. Yeah,
but I do think from Gypsy you get the... Well, it's there. It's very clear that June was the favourite that Rose saw her daughter June as being the more talented and the daughter to put all her chips behind. Do you know what I mean? And then I think it was the controlling nature of Rose that made June, when she was a bit older, go, do you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, you're doing my head in. And that's why June runs off. And it's only when June runs off that all of a sudden Louise, who is timid and shy and won't say boo to a goose, and you don't really hear very much from, is very, you know, she's the head of the cow. Do you know what I mean? They put her in the cow outfit. She's the head. You know, it's only when, you know, June's offside and has disappeared that Mama actually goes, it was always you.
Yeah. It was
like, I always thought you were going to, and you know, yes, Louise, who then became Gypsy Rose Lee, there's an element of, well, she made it for herself, but like, it was because she had her mama behind her, but she never pushed her as much as she pushed.
Well, not at the beginning.
And that's the problem, isn't it? That's why they have that fantastic scene in Gypsy Rose Lee's dressing room where she was like, it wasn't you.
Yeah.
You know, I got here because of me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's a great,
it's
great scene.
It's just wonderful. I could watch it over and over and over and
So
over
could
and over
I.
again.
I have a sad story about that, but I'll tell you it later. Okay. Do you have any other musical lyrical lingo?
In the song Small World, originally that word phenomenon. And just about like how
you're a phenomenon.
Yeah.
What is it?
Just like wonderful, amazing, and like out of this world type thing.
Stop it! You don't need to talk to me about me like that. Yeah.
And then, did you notice in All I Need Is the Girl that somebody's mentioned from a previous musical?
Yeah, Beau Brummel.
And what musical did we discuss them in?
It was Beau Brummel, Annie, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just loved it.
We connections to that same period of history, of time. I didn't, and you can look at me all funny, because I think you might. I didn't, in that song, have an egg roll, Mr. Goldstone.
Yes.
I didn't realise that the egg roll they were talking about was like a spring roll that you would get in the Chinese.
Oh yeah.
But we always would have called them spring rolls. I never knew that an egg roll was a spring roll.
Yes, but they're thicker. Is that right? I'm
Maybe.
Pretty sure an egg roll.
I think the contents are the same though. The same kind of like.
It's a variation of a spring roll.
Exactly, but we would have just called them spring rolls.
So not all spring rolls are egg rolls.
Oh my! He's sacked.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't know that when she was sick. I love that song too. She's basically doing anything she can possibly do to get Mr. Goldstone to back her and the kids and their trip.
Yeah.
Have an egg roll, Mr. Goldstone.
Anything else?
And then she sings, have a Goldstone, Mr. Egg Roll, when it's really getting desperate. So one of those songs that I had seen in like concerts and things like that was Gotta Have a Gimmick. It's a brilliant song where the three strippers are like singing, and one of them plays a trumpet and one of them lights up, flashes like the boobs and all flash up. And another one's dancey, so it's perfect for like a musical concert. Do you know what I mean? Because it's entertaining and it's got a good tune to it. But and then when I came across Gypsy, I was like, oh, this is what it's from. And it was there's a brilliant version of it in Mr. Producer.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So the first Medusa, I think, is the first stripper name.
Yeah.
She is the one that plays the trumpet, and she sings, sacrifice your sack roll, work it in the back row. That's my best impression of a stripper. Yeah. A vaudeville stripper, okay? I didn't know what sacro means. It's quite ironic that this has come up today. Considering I woke up this morning and I'm struggling with my sciatica like a 90-year-old. Sacro is slang for the sacroiliac joint in the pelvis.
Sacroiliac.
Thank you. What is it?
Sacroiliac or sacroiliac.
See, that's why he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you've learned that.
I did learn that.
So did you learn that word?
Well, I didn't know what sacro meant,
Right,
so then
okay.
when I looked it up, that's what it means.
Well, also, this word, which I really will not be able to say, so, producer, can you say that one?
Yes, I can.
Can you say it?
Ecdysiast.
Okay, so journalist
Because I have it too.
H.L. Mencken, is that right? No,
Yeah.
Mencken, coined the word, say it again,
Ecdysiast.
which means stripper.
Well, one who sheds its skin.
Yes, sorry. In Lee's honour. So it's derived from the Greek, which is Ecdys. And then obviously that.
Yes.
And that means a word describing the process of shedding one's own skin,
Yeah.
snake style.
Yeah.
But the word is also cleverly woven into the musical in the song Let Me Entertain You.
Yeah, so in Let Me Entertain You, Louise, this comes right at the end of the show, Louise has become Gypsy Rose Lee because she basically has no other choice because
Yeah.
June's left. Like, Mama Rose basically pushes her onto stage at one of the vaudeville theatres because an act is not showing up or something,
That's
so
right.
they need somebody. And she's like, Louise will do it.
Yep.
And she pushes, I just pushed you, I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
She pushes her on stage and, like, Louise doesn't know what to do, and that becomes, like, she's like, take something off. And
Yeah.
it's like a glove, take a glove
Yeah.
off. And it goes from that. And then Let Me Entertain You, the number, it keeps coming back. And each time they're in a different venue and she's become more,
Yeah.
confident. Professional and
Yeah.
confident as a striptease. And she says, once she's like a proper legit stripper, striptease artist, I
Okay,
should say. She's like, some men call me a ecdysiast. Do you know what that means? An ecdysiast is one who or that which sheds its skin.
Yep.
So that's where it comes from. Wow.
And it says, but
that's-
I'm not a stripper at these prices.
Exactly. I'm a ecdysiast.
Yeah.
There you go. I think that's how you say it.
Well, hopefully that's
But
it.
yeah, no, because I didn't know that either. But at least Gypsy Rose Lee explains it for us.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool that was even just like put into the musical.
Yeah.
Somebody described. I know she is a real person.
Yeah.
She was also immortalised in another beloved musical, Gypsy Rose Lee, in Richard Rodgers and Lorenz Hart's Pal Joey.
Oh, do you know what? That's his musical I don't know very much about.
No, I'm not a massive. I don't know a lot about it. I recognise it, but I don't. But there's a song in that called Zip. A reporter recalls interviewing Lee, who shared her cultural thoughts as she stripped and unzipped. So, yeah. And then, she did write her book. She wrote The G-String Murders.
Oh, lordy days,
A
right.
witty murder mystery set in a burlesque house.
She strangles people with her G-string.
Maybe I haven't read it.
Spoiler alert.
I have never read it myself, but like if you've got it, if that's the weapon of choice, what else are you going to do?
Suffocate them.
There's not enough material to G-string to suffocate them. I mean, I've never worn one myself, but I would guess that there's not much to a G-string.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Let's move on really quickly from the G-strings. If you got it, flaunt it. And honey, I've got it. That's from the musical. I'm not just
You're
singing
not just
random.
saying it.
But it's something I say to myself in the mirror most mornings.
Of course, we should help you get the day started.
Because if I'm being given diva
You keep talking over
status, because I'm a diva, I'm gonna go for it full out. You don't know what you've started.
me. Aye, sure.
Sorry.
You're all right. What do you think about the music? I suppose you said it earlier. Do you feel that all of the songs can stand alone and they don't necessarily need to be part of the musical for you to appreciate them?
Nah, I think you need the story. I mean, I think there's elements of gotta have a gimmick. Like they're talking about having a gimmick, so you can do that without the show. But I think the likes of Small World and Everything's Coming Up Roses, and together wherever we go. You kind of need to know what's going on a bit. Why? What do you think?
No, I think there's some really good songs in it, and probably a lot of people, like you said before, have heard the songs but didn't realise they came from Gypsy, but they make so much more sense whenever they're all together. Even like, If Mama Were Married, you're like, why are you singing about if your mum was married? And like, all the things they rhyme off, and I'm like, just because mum would be married, you'd have like 2 ducks and chickens and all of this stuff.
But because Rose did have them, because they travelled with those because they put them into their blooming shows or something. I know,
because the farmyard show.
Dainty June and her farmyard boys. Isn't that what they call the trip?
Also, I love the bit where, maybe it was in real life, where Louise... Jin didn't actually know what age she was because her mum kind of always played her as baby Jin. Yeah. And like, you hear of those stories quite a lot, don't you? Of like parents who are quite controlling and like make their kids think they're sick and all of that.
Well, that's, that's deep.
I know, but you know, that's...
But the thing is, some stage mums, we all know lots of stage mums. And, I mean, it starts from the right place because you want them to, you know, do well and be the best they can be. But then I think it can very quickly turn. Yeah. And I think the pressure can be too much and they can be too forceful. And I think they almost start living their life through their children. Yeah. Do you know, and Mama Rose was 100% it. So then when, you know, the June thing wasn't going to work, and then Louise turns around and says, but I don't need you. Like, I am successful on my own. That's when, like, Rose is like, what did I do it all for? Yeah. She was doing it for her. Like, she wasn't doing it for her kids, you know, and now her kids don't need her or don't want her. And she's like, what, like... Yeah, I can't go out and do it on my own. I kind of need to tag along with you, you know. And
that must be really sad, though, as well, you know, especially if you're making your kids do all these vaudeville shows, performances, but it's really you that wants to do it. And then they turn around and they say, no, we don't need you. What was that all for? Your life is gone.
Yeah. And like her number at the end of Act 2... You know, Rose's turn. That's how it kind of starts. Like I could have been a star. I could have done it, but you know, she knows for herself. That song, the closing number, Rose's turn, in which Rose reveals her vulnerability and has a near nervous breakdown. I suppose you could say it's close.
Depends
to
how it's played. I would say.
Yeah, I think it's heading towards that number the whole show. Do you know what I mean? It was an absolute tour de force of the writers and performers alike, and apparently when Sondheim and Stein first presented it to the cast late into production, everyone involved broke down, shed tears.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I could listen to it on repeat.
It's stunning, isn't it?
So good.
But like, you do need to be a proper like legendary performer to pull it off.
And you need, I think that's the key word there, you need to perform it, you can't sing it.
Yeah.
You can't just sing that song, there needs to be body behind it to get the true meaning and passion.
Yeah. It's so good, like it is amazing. Is this the right time to bring up Imelda Staunton then?
Yeah. What do you think of her, first of all?
Oh, I am like the world's biggest Imelda Staunton fan. Yeah,
I am, but she plays the worst character in Harry Potter, and I can't ever forgive her for that.
Okay.
So, which kind of, for this role, is okay, because I don't think Rose is somebody that you will particularly love. As in, you, like, oh, I love Rose, and she's so lovely.
No, like, but... I think the joy of a really brilliant actress playing Rose is that if they get it right, you know that she's ridiculous and not what she does to her children isn't acceptable. So she shouldn't be a likeable character, but yet you can't help but feel sorry for her at the very end.
Yeah. Yes. Depending on how that's played.
But I think if you're playing it properly, that's how you should feel. Like, you should be like, nah, not like, awful, like the worst, like stage mother out there. But I do feel sorry for her.
Yeah, because you kind of feel what did she work for then?
Yeah, exactly. What was it all for? Yeah.
I think Imelda is absolutely wonderful, and I think I watched it on repeat. You know, so once I finished, I just restarted it again and watched it again.
So, what was fantastic about the 2015 revival of Gypsy in the West End Savoy Theatre there was a pro recording of it done, and it went out one Christmas on BBC4, didn't it? And don't you love it when a good musical goes out on TV, because you can hit that record button and, as you've said, watch it over and over and over and over again. And I had that on my old TV box.
Oh, that's sad.
And I recently, during the summer, got an upgrade TV box, and I lost all of my musical recordings. And there was many a recording on there. I had Anything Goes, I had Rocky Horror Show, like I had loads of TV recordings of musical pro shots. I got most of them back because they were either on the streaming, but Gypsy's not. And it asks you to pay for it, and I'm like, I'm not.
It might be on Amazon.
It is £3.09.
I'm not.
£3.09.
Yeah.
Well, that's worth it.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to have to buy it because I have to see it again and again and again. Yeah. I was really lucky to have seen it live in the Savoy Theatre.
I know.
And something really amazing happened that I had never experienced before. And that was at the end of her number, she got a standing ovation in the middle of the show. And it basically stopped the show for about 5 minutes. Like, people jumped to their feet and were clapping and cheering and didn't sit down. Like, it went on for 5 minutes, and she held her final position that whole time. Wow. And I was just like, this isn't... to the point that, like, at the end of the number, that's what I would have wanted to do. Yeah. But I didn't think it was a thing. Like, I'd never seen it before. You normally hold
until the very
end, the curtain call. And my God, I was ready to jump to my feet. But the fact it was instantaneous, like, people around me, I was sitting in the stalls, about 10 rows back. Like, it was a really lovely ticket I managed to get. But people jumped to their feet, and, like, I just joined them because I was like, oh my goodness, like,
I could do this.
Yeah. And then looked around and was like, what is going on? Like, what am I experiencing here? So it was really special. Oh my God, she deserved it. Like, but I'd never seen that happen in the middle of a show. And then, of course, curtain calls, she got exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, she's so good. A lot of people, whenever it was first, shown on TV or whatever, were saying that she was too manic. And I was like, you don't understand the character.
Yeah.
You don't, because I think especially whenever she's saying, to Louise, oh, it was you, I had a dream about you. She's making it up on the spot. And I think Imelda portrays that the best out of any clips that I have ever seen. I need to think fast here, because if I don't, everything that I've worked to up until this point is going to be gone. And she portrays it in a way where I need to now believe everything in Louise. She needs to be number one. Okay, let's just try and forget what happened before. Let's make it up. Let's get her along on this journey. It has to be played like that. So I don't think that she was being manic. But
no, because I think, there has to be an element of manic to it, because it's as close to a breakdown that you're going to get in the character. But I also think what made Imelda's version so good was the other versions that you see and you hear, it becomes almost like a shouting match. Do you know what I mean? Like, they create that breakdown as a gulder or shouting in your face, and Imelda didn't do that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It had the light and shade of somebody who was struggling to cope with what was going through her head. Yeah.
And I also thought that who she was playing against, Laura Pulver.
Oh my goodness, she's amazing.
Aaron loves her, and he'll not know that he loves her. But I thought how she played Gypsy Rose Lee, and even that realisation in that song between her, where she's going, maybe it was all about me, you know, and maybe she wanted to believe that.
Yeah.
Just at that part, but I think she plays a great role. So I think the production was fab. Everybody was cast really well.
But that scene between the two of them in the dressing room is like insane acting, right? Know. Why does Aaron love her? Because she's in TV, isn't she now?
Do you know who it is now?
Is he one from Sherlock?
It is.
Oh, okay. There you go. Your woman from Sherlock. Excuse me, that's musical theatre like royalty, Laura Pulver. I think she also was like did Spooks, like a series of Spooks one year on TV. I love really? Spooks.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I love the show.
Was that your second time seeing it? Did you see it in America? Gypsy?
Yes. Okay. So it's interesting you should bring that up.
Yeah.
It was the second time I saw it, right? I saw it in America first, and I saw Bernadette Peters, like another like musical theatre like superstar, and we went as family actually, and we all hated it.
And I remember that conversation because it was Vivian's favourite musical, and you obviously came back and you said, "Oh, I've seen Gypsy," and Vivian said, "Oh, I love it," and you went, "Really?" Like, I mean, I thought that there would have been a really big tap number or something in it for you to love it. And Vivian was like, no, it's the character of Rose and the songs and everything. And you said, maybe it was just the production. And I remember going, that's a cool conversation you two are having. I was eavesdropping in.
I was really underwhelmed. Now, it might have been that I was too young to understand it properly.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan, and I've listened, like, because there's been so many blooming revivals of it, right? That there's plenty of cast recordings out there. And I just didn't get or like Bernadette Peters as Rose. Now, I think to be fair to her, when she played it, she was too young to be playing it.
I was going to say that. I always find that weird.
Yeah. Just because she was a big Broadway name, they put her into the Gypsy, you know, or the Mama Rose role. I think that was probably it. And I think if, say, Broadway were to do another revival next year and they cast her in it, I would say she probably would do a fantastic job. Because I like her as a performer, but I just don't know. And it was the first time I had experienced Bernadette Peters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just didn't get it. I didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
Which actually then made me go, I think if Imelda Staunton hadn't been in Gypsy, I don't know if I'd have gone to see it again.
Yeah, because you weren't blown away by it.
But it's right up. Now, I love the music and I think the orchestrations are unbelievable right from the beginning of that overture. We should do a note. Do you like overtures?
Yeah, I do.
You like the musical theatre overture?
And I'll be honest, sometimes I skip Gypsy's overture if I'm not in the mood to listen to it. Because sometimes I'm like, I just want the songs on. So I'm like, oh, it's the overture's playing. Oh, here.
Oh, so do
you know what I mean?
So you're not really a massive fan of an overture?
No, I'm probably not a Bell standard.
Well then, sack that. I was about to say we should do an overture like episode where we like rate our top 10 musical theatre overtures, but that would be a waste of time.
Yeah, it probably would be.
Yeah. I'll do one meal.
Okay, you do it yourself. Any other connections?
Aaron, is Lauren on holiday anytime? We can sack her off for a week and I'll just do my overture episode.
Can be arranged.
Here.
That's
love for you, eh? Throwing you under the bus there.
Any other connections?
No, but apparently Imelda Staunton, before the whole COVID thing came about, there was talk of Imelda Staunton going into London as Hello Dolly. Now,
I know.
I would pay megabucks to see her play Dolly Levi in Hello Dolly. She'd be amazing.
Yes, that's another thing we need to discuss. That's another musical for another time. About
Hello
the
Dolly.
current Hello Dolly and all of that.
Oh, why have we not done Hello Dolly? I have loads of connections to Hello Dolly.
Oh, here, it's another one. Right, see, every week we add another one, and another one, another one. So the song Wherever You Go, I sang it in one of our stage shows. And I was trying to remember my name.
What show was it?
Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, okay. Wherever. Did you sing it like... Ethel Merman. Wherever we go.
I sang it. I was like, do you remember that was the year Sharon was like, I'm going to cast you all in different roles?
I know.
And it was very strange, but like I kind of loved it as well.
I was the father.
I know. And I was the comedic character, which was so not me.
But at least you'll have had more fun with that. I literally went, I'm never going to work again after this role. The father.
Going to work again.
The father. I was like, gee whiz, thanks. I'd just go and put the slippers on now and make a cup of tea.
That is so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you were the father and I was the...
comedy.
The comedy. You know, it was like... I was going to say henchman. It wasn't a henchman. It was like the...
Was it not a comedic henchman?
Is the henchman the right one? Well, it was... Again, a wee bit weird.
That whole thing was weird that year.
Because
I was the father.
I was playing a man, which I'd done before, playing numerous male roles. But I was like Hansel and Gretel's sidekick. You know, singing Wherever You Go.
My song was so good, I can't remember what I actually... Do you know I maybe didn't even have a song?
Did you? Oh no. Was Sarah Jane the mother?
Mother, yeah. Did we sing something?
Money, money, money.
Like what?
I remember that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't be up there my favourite.
Yeah, that's what you sang.
Nah, you see. We'll sack that one off. Won't talk
So
about
yeah,
that ever again. But at least she had a fun part to play and a nice song to sing.
I know. I don't have sang it very well, but it was fine.
Wherever we go.
So, and I think I still remember a wee bit of a dance to it.
You're very good at remembering things
Not
like that.
all the time, but sometimes it comes back.
We're gonna go through it together. Bum, bum, she's right, we do need to record an episode. Very good. Do you have any standing ovations?
Rose is just the standing ovation.
Rose and her songs.
Rose and her songs and just the performance. And how she can sort of turn it around. So that was one of my fun facts. There's different endings. So in Bernadette Peters' version, Gypsy Rose Lee walks out without her mum. In another version, I can't remember, they walk out together.
Yeah, Imelda Staunton one does she not?
In Imelda Staunton, Gypsy actually puts her arm around her.
Yeah, that's
so
cute.
It kind of looks like they're gonna go through things together. So
I like that one though, because I think
it's nice that there's a different ending.
I think it's a switch of power, isn't it? Not in an awful way. I think Gypsy Rose Lee realises she needs to be there to support her mother. Yeah. Like it's her turn
to look after her.
To look after her mum. Yeah. Because her mum looked up. I mean, as much as it was push, like she did look after those children. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no,
she was doing everything for
never
the right
get
reason.
The impression that Rose doesn't love her children.
No.
So because there's also that you can be.
But if it's played poorly, you could very easily get that.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely loves her children.
Yeah.
She just has a
want.
Yeah, a want, and I think she is a little delusional in thinking that they're going to be massive stars and then she's going to have stardom from that. You know, and that's not fair.
It's like she wanted that for herself. That never happened. So by George, my kids are going to be stars.
Yeah.
And Gypsy Rose Lee ended up being a star, so happy days.
Yeah, but not what she wanted, though. A different type of star.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yes.
She lives vicariously through her children, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm looking here to see what's the next one. We're all over. Oh, no, okay, yeah. Spooky. Yeah, we're going to do a Halloween special.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, so you didn't have a what's that called? Sound effect ready, so you just made your own up.
You noticed?
No.
Well, the bubbles, remember, were a wee bit rubbish. So.
But I did love how tacky they were. I was like, I love a wee tacky sound effect.
A tacky sound effect?
Yeah.
rather than just a good sound effect.
Okay, if it's a production I'm involved in, a good sound effect, but
From now on,
other than that,
tacky
no,
ones.
don't you dare give me a tacky sound effect, sound engineer. Not happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a wee bit spooky.
Well, exactly, because it's Halloween. What's that from?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Never seen it, but I know that song.
Oh, okay.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Is that not it? No?
I think you've lost the plot.
I think so. Well, maybe you'd be doing a bit of...
Yeah. I knew we might get a wee video of you in your hot pants.
Oh my goodness, yes! This is what it's all been working up towards. We'll have the video out that week, boys and girls. Prepare yourself for the Gold La Mer hot pants.
If you don't come dressed up for that week, I'll be raging.
My God, I may get the cellophane out to wrap everything else. Right. On that, we're going to leave it on that before we go down a path we do not need to go down. Okay. I'm so excited. All right, until next week.
Bye.
Bye.